How long does it take to lose 200 pounds?
Well, that's crazy. It depends on how gung-ho you want to be. In the first year doing what I do, I lost 138 pounds. It did take me another a year and a half-ish to lose the rest to 200. But yeah, in the first year I lost 138.
I think I remember you telling me that you had lost 100 pounds in 8 months.
Yes. 100 pounds in 8 months, and that's when I started YouTube, because I realized I had come across something amazing that was going to work, and I wanted to tell everybody else about it, and I thought YouTube would be the way to do it, and I was right.
Yeah, you were right, definitely on that. And so tell me a little bit about your journey. Like, tell me, first of all, like, how long were you heavy, what brought you to keto, and how you have found keto to be so successful.
All right. Well, I've pretty much been heavy since I was 10. I remember when I was 10 years old weighing myself, and I was 135 pounds, and I was definitely not a tall 10-year-old. So I remember feeling like I was fat from a very young age. So I don't really ever remember being thin, though I know I was before 10, because there's pictures to prove it. But, you know, memory and all that, I'm kind of old. So anyway, after high school.
She's younger than me. Let's just note that. She is younger than me.
Not by much.
Like 10 years.
Okay. Well, 10 years doesn't feel like that
decade.
much when you're this age, right? It feels like we're all the same age. Anyway, out of high school, I weighed probably about 200 pounds. By the time I met and married my husband, I weighed 225. 225 is what I weighed when I got pregnant with my first of my 9 children. And I just went from there. So for most of my adult life, I was over 290, 300 pounds. But after I had my last son, my ninth child, I got up to 374 pounds, and it started getting really scary. I started having real health issues, concerning problems. I was starting to be afraid that my kids wouldn't be able to, like, you know, that they would find me dead, or that I would get stuck somewhere and they would have to come and get me out, like in the tub. How embarrassing would that be if your little kids had to come help you get out of the tub? I mean, that's horrible. And so I started having real bad anxiety over it, and I tried not to get suicidal because I had so many kids, but honestly, like, I dreamed of escaping. Escape was my only thing I thought about every single day. So I would get down on my knees and literally beg God for an answer, like plead with all my heart to help me. And I was looking into all the surgeries, actually. I had a whole list of them. I was very interested in the balloon surgery that they were doing at the time, where they would, like, put a balloon in your stomach that would take up space. So many people died from that surgery that year. I cannot even believe how many people died from that, because it was new and it's gone now. You don't hear anything about it? Yeah, because people died. That could have been me. That could have been me. And so I decided on January 1st, just like so cliche, that I was going to start my weight loss journey like everybody else does on January 1st, right? And I decided...
Sorry. January 1st, what
2017.
Year? 2017.
So 3 years ago. Okay. And that morning, I basically just said, okay, well, I'm not eating anything bad. I'm just going to eat meat and vegetables and drink water, and that's all I'm going to do. And I dropped like 9 pounds that first week. And a friend online said, you know, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm doing this. I'm eating meat and vegetables, and I'm drinking water. And this lady says, wait, you're doing keto? And I'm like, what is keto? And how had I never heard of it? Never heard of it. I couldn't believe it was the first time I'd heard of it. And I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I want to know. Because at the time, I thought I was doing a crash diet, a dangerous thing. I thought it was my last ditch effort. I really had a bad feeling about it. I didn't feel like it was the answer, but I was desperate. So she put me in this Facebook group, and I found out that not only was it a real thing, but it was also a healthy thing, and it was also a sustainable thing, which blew my mind. And I became an expert. I read everything I could on the subject. I studied it like in depth, and I started answering questions on the Facebook page for them. They decided that I was so great at that they asked me to help moderate the group. I spent half my day typing, answering questions. And finally I got tired of it, and I asked the moderators if they wouldn't mind if I made some videos that we could link to that would explain it. Because if I could just talk, it would be so much easier, right?
Wait, hang on. Is that because you talk a lot?
You think? I've often been shushed in my life.
Yeah, I have too.
Multiple times.
Yes, I have too.
Okay, almost every day. I hate being shushed.
Truth be told, right?
Yes, I hate it. I became the moderator. I made the videos. They loved it. We used the videos. We linked out the videos. I got subscribers from the videos because there were people that liked me. And they were like, oh, this girl's making videos. So they started subscribing. Dr. Steven Finney is the source of all the information that I teach on my channel. He actually puts all his studies, he's a scientist, and he's also lived and eaten ketogenically for most of his adult life, well over 20 years. He's a happy, healthy, 60-something-year-old guy who loves keto and studies it on the daily. So everything I teach came from him, and he's brilliant. So we can even link that if they want to find it. But he has a blog where he writes articles. His whole staff writes articles that help explain why to do things. But I've noticed people don't really care about the science behind it. They just want to know how to lose 200 pounds without surgery. A lot of people don't believe I lost 200 pounds without surgery. They think I'm lying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you should see how much food I ate. You saw how much food I ate at lunch. There's no way if I had weight loss surgery that I could consume that much food.
No, because I actually have two girlfriends who had surgery.
Yeah, it's tiny bits.
They don't eat much food. Yeah,
my mom had surgery, so I'm very well aware of what it's like to live post-bariatric surgery, and it's no fun. This is so much better. I get to eat all the steak and all the yummy food. Like, it's amazing. Like, I eat so much food. People always say that on my videos. You eat so much food, and I'm like, yep. And look at this. Still works. It's brilliant.
So tell me what a day in the life of the food that you eat.
So like what I would typically eat to lose weight?
Yeah.
Okay, so I do intermittent fasting, so I usually put off my first meal as long as I can. Usually at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I'll eat when I just can't stand it, wait any longer. And my breakfast usually consists of bacon, eggs, cheese, and Greek yogurt. That's it. I eat 60 grams of protein and about 30 grams of fat in that meal and fewer than 10 carbs. I try and cut my macros in half. I track everything in a tracker. Then for dinner, it's usually chicken, cheese, veggie, and sauce. So for example, about a 6-ounce chicken breast, 2 ounces of some kind of cheese, a half a cup of a low-carb marinara, and zucchini noodles underneath. Or spaghetti squash, which tends to be my favorite of late. And so I can sometimes do ground beef, but if I'm trying to lose weight, I try to stick to lean meats. I don't eat crazy amounts of fat like they tell you on keto. This is a different kind of keto. This is not what you're used to hearing about.
So when the keto thing really started, as I looked into it, I saw, oh, well, this is Atkins with more fat.
Yes.
Which really is what it is.
Absolutely true. In fact, what I do is Atkins induction.
Oh, really? That is what you... Yeah.
Legitimately what I do.
Okay, so when I was in high school, everybody was doing Atkins.
Yep.
And so we would eat, like, lean meat, like turkey, and I can't remember what else, but, I mean, Atkins was the big thing.
Yeah.
I think it started, like, in the 70s or something.
It did, and Dr. Atkins was actually brilliant. There's just one piece of information that he didn't know about, which is why the Atkins diet got such bad reviews and why so many people just fell off of it. It was electrolytes. Dr. Atkins didn't realize that when you're eating anti-inflammatory like that, you drop your electrolytes constantly and you need to be replacing them. If you have 5 grams of sodium per day, you're not going to get sick on a ketogenic way of eating. And that's the one thing that Atkins didn't realize, and the one thing that Dr. Finney stresses is getting proper electrolyte supplementation. You also do need potassium and magnesium, but sodium is the big one. It's the one that makes you feel crappy. And so it's necessary if you want to do it. And that's actually the hardest thing people usually have. And I have whole videos on that subject, multiple videos on that subject.
So one of the things that happened, we ate lunch together and she picked up the salt shaker and put salt on. And she's like, oh, I got to make sure I have plenty of salt.
Yeah, and normally that's not enough. I usually actually consume salt water, and I forgot to take it this morning. And I'm already feeling like in this kind of chest pain right here because of my low sodium for the day. Because I usually I personally take 37 grams of Soleil water, which is about 2,200 milligrams of sodium just in the morning, and usually try and do that 4 times a day. That's way more than Dr. Finney recommends, but it's the only amount that works for me. I've tried cutting it back. Doesn't work.
So I know I can watch the videos.
Yes,
but just give me an idea right now. Like, why doesn't your food that you're eating, the meat and the vegetables, have enough sodium? But where, like people who aren't on keto, where do they get their sodium?
They don't need it as much.
Why not?
The only reason you need it on keto is because it's anti-inflammatory. Your body doesn't retain water, and so it doesn't retain sodium. So you're flushing it constantly. In fact, we recommend not drinking gallons of water like everyone else, every other diet on the planet, because you can flush even more of them. We recommend drinking to thirst only, which for me is about 60 to 80 ounces of water a day.
Yeah, I'm lucky if I get in 50 ounces of water, but that's
so then you do well on keto, then.
But my goal is 100. But yeah,
right.
It's so interesting. So when I was in probably grade school, I went to an overnight camp, and they fed us all salt pills all week. We had salt pills all week. We had to like take them with water, and I thought it was so weird. But it was probably because
you're sweating.
We're sweating and we're hot and everything, and so they were worried about the sodium thing. So I didn't know that the difference with Atkins.
Most people don't. That's why it got such a bad rap, because people got sick.
Yeah.
Did you know that the reason people get hangovers is because alcohol also flushes electrolytes, and really what you need the next day is just sodium? That's why so many drinks have salt around the edges. Oh. The things you learn.
Oh, how interesting.
Think about this also. What happens when you're really, really sad and you cry and cry and cry and cry? You get a headache. You get tired.
You get dehydrated. Probably,
because you're losing your sodium.
Yeah, because if you lick the tears, they're salty.
Right? You're crying out your sodium.
Yeah, okay.
So all these things that people like attribute to random things are all electrolyte issues. And so it's something that we're really aware of if we think about it. And it makes sense, but most people fight it because they're like, ooh, salt is bad. And I'm like, no. Just like fat is not bad, it's just another form of energy that you can use just like carbohydrates. Salt is good for you, and you need a certain amount. So on a standard American diet, you need about 2,000 milligrams of sodium. But on a keto diet, you need 5,000 plus. Ooh. So that's the most that's the hardest thing for people to grasp. But I'll tell you what, if all I have to do is eat salt every day and be a size small, I'll do it. Yeah, Sign me up for the rest of my life.
Well, 200 pounds is a pretty big deal.
That's a human being. That's a chubby human being.
That's a whole person. Yeah.
That is legitimately.
That is.
I remember when I hit my halfway.
Because when you came here, I thought you had lost 100 pounds, and then you're like, no, I've lost 200.
And you were like,
what?
I love it. So 187 pounds was my halfway mark. So my body likes 187. I actually got down to 174, but it's coming back up. I think 187 is my set point, and I'm going to have to fight that. Mm-hmm. So you do definitely get to a point where it's harder. You have to think harder. You have to cut back on your calories a little bit more. You have to be a little bit creative. So it's definitely not always an easy fix. I'm still struggling with the last 10 pounds, 15 pounds. But honestly, like at this point, if I stay here for the rest of my life, it's not 300 pounds. It's not 400 pounds. Mm-hmm. I'm happy.
It would be considered a healthy weight.
Oh yeah. Yeah. For sure. I mean, I'm wearing size small tops and about size 10 jeans. So yeah, like, dude, I'll take it. Yeah, never, if you ever told me I would wear a size 10 jeans, would I ever believe it?
Yeah. I bet.
And now I'm dancing. I take ballet classes, I take jazz classes, I take clogging classes, and I was just in the Nutcracker as a party parent dancing with my kids on stage. And people told me that it looked like I'd been doing it my whole life. And it was like a 15-year dream. And I just accomplished that this year. Nothing can take the place of that. That feeling is so good. It's so amazing. And especially as someone who lived at over 300 pounds and could not do a lot and used her weight as an excuse, it's amazing to me that I can do so many more things at 44 years old, 45. Oh crap, I'm 45. I just turned 45. I don't even know how old I am. That's how old I am. I love it. But I feel like I'm doing more now than I did when I was young.
So what about exercise?
The dancing is all I do. I started after losing 100 pounds. Actually, that was my reward. I bought myself a pair of $100 clogging shoes, and I joined the adult clogging class. That was my first exercise I ever did. Because exercise scares me. I don't want to be a fitness guru. I don't want to be a runner. If you tell me that you have to do that in order to lose weight, I like clam up and I get really bad anxiety. And I told myself, you know what? It doesn't matter. You don't have to run. You don't have to be the cliche person who loses weight and becomes a fitness model. No, just be normal. And so I wanted to do what my kids do because I've always been jealous of my kids. And that's why I started clogging. So that year I only did clogging once a week. I fell in my first clogging performance on stage. That was not good. Got right back up and kept on going. Could I have fallen like that at 390 pounds and gone back up, or 374, whatever I was?
You probably could have fallen.
but I don't know about getting back up. So yeah, that's exactly like, and in ballet class, I've fallen so many times. I will be doing a tour jeté and I forget one foot has to be down and 2 feet are up. Boom. And everyone screams and I just hop back up because I can. I could never do that before. It's the weirdest feeling. I actually like falling down because it feels so amazing to just be able to hop back up. The things that you never knew you would like. But yeah, that's the only exercise I do. So I do ballet for an hour a week, clogging for an hour a week, and then whatever performance I'm doing, like practices for Nutcracker was like an hour a week. That's it. I don't run. I don't go to the gym. I don't do cardio. 0. Probably I could lose that last 15, 20 if I really put my effort into it, but I don't know if I care enough to go to the gym. You're doing way better than me on that front.
Yeah, I like to go to the.
And she
like
just
to
got
healthy.
You just got a bike for Christmas.
Yeah, I just got a bike for Christmas. Yeah.
See, I'm a little jealous of that, but I don't know where I'd put it in my house. You have such a big, pretty house. My house is cramped with a bunch of people.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of people here too, but
I know you have a
have
nice big
extra,
house.
Yeah, we have
I love
extra.
it.
Thank you. Thank you.
One day I will have a nice big house. Oh wait, I don't know. I said we were never moving again.
Yeah, we're not moving either. We're just hoping some people move out and there'll be less people around here. That's our big goal.
That is my goal too. So far, none of my kids have moved out. I don't know what I'm doing wrong there.
Oh, I can talk to you about that off camera.
Okay.
I got some good ideas on that one.
Okay. we'll do that. That sounds good.
Someone comes to you and they say, I want to lose 200 pounds. What's the bottom line?
My top 5 tips for losing 200 pounds. Okay. My top 5 tips for losing weight. Number 1, carbs under 20. It's easier than you think. Number 2, track every bite. Get your macros. I can help you with that. Number 3, get in your electrolytes. This is the most important one. Don't forget electrolytes. Number 4, patience is key. Consistency and patience will win out. And number 5, measure your body, not just using the scale, because the scale doesn't always tell the truth.
I feel a little bit intrigued because, as you know, I'm on this journey to lose some weight.
I agree.
And so far for 2 months, I have maintained through all the holidays, which I'm very,
That's
very
amazing.
happy about that.
I didn't. I gained 10 pounds.
Okay, I'm very happy that I maintained through the holidays. Like, I'm happy about that, but I do want to be healthier. I want to be in better shape. I want to get exercise. I want to just have all the markers of being healthier. Like, that's my big goal. I've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and the doctor says that I have to go like 3 to 5 years without medication before they'll be willing to say that I don't have diabetes.
Wow.
But I've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, so I have some real incentives to try to be healthier, lose weight, etc. And I have to say that my interest is piqued in this idea. So we'll have to see what ends up happening with that, with other conversations and stuff. But I just really appreciate you coming on the channel and talking about your journey.
I'm happy to.
The thing is, like, we kind of talked about 200 pounds because 200 pounds is such a big deal. But needless to say, she also lost 50 pounds. She also lost 75 pounds. She also lost 100 pounds. She also lost 150 pounds on her path to getting to 200 pounds.
Good point.
So there's lots and lots and lots of benchmark markers there of weight loss. So thank you very much for coming on the
so
channel.
welcome.
I really appreciate it. Very, very, very appreciate it. So thanks so much.
Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. And remember,
Your efforts matter.
That's all.